Okay. Okay, I think we are live. So I'm pretty sure we're live. I got OBS now, so I don't know. I don't know exactly how good this is gonna be. But okay, okay, okay. Um, oh, okay. Can I just see the? I hope I can see the chat. Okay, I can just put it over here. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let me re redo all this. Okay. Okay. Alright, now let's fucking get into this. Merry holidays. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and go through all the Grotmas detachments released thus far. I thought about putting this off until tomorrow when the Black Templars detachment comes out for obvious reasons. Um, but, I said we'd do it today. If I don't do it today, I'm probably not going to do it because I get to spend all day editing the Grey Knights video tomorrow. So we're just going to get right into it. We're going to go through these, see what's what, and figure out which ones of these are good and which ones of these are ass. So welcome, welcome if you're here. So let's go ahead and read through all of these, starting with Death Guard. Now, for those who don't know, Death Guard and Eldar are probably my personally least favorite armies to go up against because, in my opinion, especially Death Guard, they don't win on lethality or tactics necessarily. They win on being as annoying as possible. And I think their new detachment really plays into that fly blown host. So their detachment rule that they're going to get is that all their infantry units that are not embarked with transport have Scouts 5 and Stealth abilities. So for those who don't know, Scout is that before the battle even starts, before even the first command phase goes off, you get um, you get to move 5 inches for free. And then on top of that, you have Stealth, which means that you take a -1 to hit when you're targeting them. And so I think with Death Guard, I mean, I guess it does do well for their mobility's sake because Chaos armies in general, I think with the exception of like World Eaters, at least from what I've seen, um, kind of have a problem with speed. They're pretty slow. Like, okay, I play Thousand Suns. Most of my shit moves like 5 inches, with the exception, obviously, of like vehicles or like demons, things like that. So seeing that, that's probably gonna help them out a lot. And they're already like top 10, I think, armies for the past few months. But let's move on to enhancements. So, model only, droning chorus, ranged weapons equipped by models in the bearers unit have the assault ability. Okay, cool. So not only are they going to get free Scout 5, right? So free 5 inches of movement. They're also going to be able to move on top of that, advance, and get to shoot, which normally you wouldn't be able to do. So that is crazy busted for only 15 points. But that to be fair though, that is only for a single unit. So they do have to make a choice there. and make it count. That's not going to go army wide. So insectile murmuration for 20 points. Death Guard infantry model only. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes an attack that targets a unit that's within contagion range of one or more Death Guard units from your army, reroll a wound roll of 1. So contagion range is their army rule, and so basically what that is um, it's this little like sphere they get. I think it's around objectives or units. I don't exactly remember. Hey, welcome to the stream. But basically, the people, if you're within that bubble, okay, you take a negative as an opponent. So that can be either like, excuse me, -1 to toughness, OC, whatever. Basically, so I don't remember exactly the army roll off the top of my head, but it's something along those lines. Yeah, Black Templars tomorrow. Like I said at the start of the stream, I was thinking of pushing this to tomorrow specifically for that reason. Um, but I said I'd do it today, so I'll do it today. I'll put my 2 cents in on the Black Templars one tomorrow. I have a very bad feeling that it's gonna be psyker focused, like anti-psyker focused, um, and that's not great. Personally, it's not great because nobody I fucking play with has psykers, so it's gonna serve me no purpose. The other thing is that psychic isn't really as big of a deal this edition as it was in ninth. Um, Not a lot of armies are psychic heavy unless you're like Thousand Suns or Grey Knights, things like that. Not a lot of psychic units across the board. Even Blood Angels had their like Psyker Dreadnought taken away and things. So like, yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not anti-psyker. You know, the Emperor provides. I hope. I'm trying to have faith. All right. Better, more potential views. Most people's watch using versus Tyson probably. Oh, is there a match tonight or something? I didn't even know that. Cool. Um, Not really a sports guy though, but hey, I'll watch a match every now and then. Like I watched the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, rigged though it was. Um, and that was still a fun watch. The prelims to that fight were fucking incredible. Um, but anyway, going into it, something melee. Yeah, one can hope, right? We'll get into that in a minute. When we look at the Blood Angels detachment later on, because that's fucking sick. Anyway, rejuvenating swarm for 10 points. Death Guard infantry model only. At the end of each phase, the bear regains all of its lost wounds. I don't need that's pretty solid. Boxing night just ended though. Okay, well hopefully everybody had a good time. Um, Plague Veil for 25. Infantry model only while the bearer's unit is within range of one or more objective markers that you control. That unit can only be selected as the target of a ranged attack if that attacking model is within 18 inches. Okay, so it gives them stealth within 18 inches as opposed to 12. That's pretty fucking solid. Um, Especially for a really valuable character unit. That's really fucking solid. Um, Moving on to stratagems, we have nauseating paroxysms. So at the start of the fight phase, one Death Guard infantry unit from your army that's in engagement range of one or more enemy units. Effects: select one enemy model within engagement range of your unit. The unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the result. That can be pretty valuable because that can prevent them from doing command rerolls or anything like that during that fight phase. Hi, welcome to the stream. And that can really like fuck Templars in melee, for example. um, that can even mess up like custodies and things like that. Now, that said, though, just subtracting 1 from the result isn't that bad, all things considered, especially like Space Marines, because you save your leadership for battle shock test is to what, a 6 up? That's kind of hard to fail. Now, going to like guard, for example, that's gonna be potentially devastating. Um, just based on my own experience from running guard in battle shock tests, it's just not a good time rolling those. So that's pretty solid, good counter for melee armies. Vermin Cloud in the fight phase again. One Death Guard infantry model unit from your army that has not been selected to fight. Till the end of the phase, each time model that unit makes a pilot or consolidation move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3. Okay, again, why don't I hope we get something like this in the Templar detachment because that is fantastic. Oh man, that would allow us to get a whole Crusader squad around a target, just surround and make a desperate escape test. Um, Eye of the Swarm shooting phase. Infantry unit from your army has not been selected to shoot till the end of the phase. Range weapons equipped by the models in that unit, excluding blast, have the pistol ability. That's also really tight. Though, from what I can remember of playing Death Guard, I don't remember their units having a ton of really good like ranged weapons. I mean, they have a few. Like I think their regular infantry, like battle line squads, can pack like a plasma gun or something crazy like that. But I mean, for the most part, it's just like bolters. But I also haven't played Death Guard in. I haven't played. Sorry, I haven't played against Death Guard in months. I do have a game against them on Monday, I think. Them and Voton. I don't know shit about Voton, so we'll see how that goes. Didn't even know anybody played Voton. But droning horror shooting phase. One infantry unit from your army does not be selected to shoot until the end of the phase. Each time model in unit makes a ranged attack. Reroll a hit roll of 1 if that target takes a unit. If that attack targets a unit within half range, you can reroll a whole hit roll instead. So that you could stack that. Okay, droning horror with where is it? That one enhancement for that unit that excuse me, yeah. Or droning chorus gives them assault. So like proc that off of droning horror, um, and then charge in there. And of course, this is assuming you have like a perfect thing going on. But you could then proc that off of nauseating paroxysms, and then like give your shit the pistol. No, maybe that might not work, but you get what I'm saying. You can stack a couple of these together and make it pretty rude. Because like, okay, a friend of mine pointed this one out. Nauseating paroxysms stacks with the Death Guard option to reduce um, leadership by 1 in contagion range, which increases each battle round. So you have like I think it starts with like 3, and then it goes to 6, then it goes to 9. Um, and the last time I played Death Guard, that that was produced I think by their sticky objectives that they get. So if you're 9 inches of that objective for a late game, you're feeling the effects of that. So that stacks with nauseating paroxysms because they're technically 2 different roll results. And with Warhammer, it's all about rules lawyering and how things read, which is why you can stack things like Oath of Moment and the Space Marine Eradicator Total Obliteration ability, um, and get 2 instances of full hit rerolls, because they are technically 2 separate instances of the same rule. I know I'm switching topics, but do you have your current Templars list link in some YouTube video perhaps? No. Um, I think my last Tabletop Templars video I did, I think I put that list in the comment, or in the pinned comment, or in the description, one of the two, maybe both. Um, but I can, I'll tell you what, after we review the rest of this detachment, I'll go over my list I've been running, um, because it has changed a little bit. And I'll go over that and explain why. So where were we? Okay. Inventorating Onslaught. Charge phase just after Death Guard infantry unit from your model makes a charge from your army makes a charge move. Target that Death Guard infantry unit. Select one enemy unit within engagement range of 1d6 for enemy models. Blah 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 blah. Adding one to the result that model is not a cultist or poxwalker. For each 5 up, select enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound to a maximum of 6. That's okay. Um, it's kind of like a discount. It's kind of like a discount jump back intercessor ability where you do mortals on charge. Except except worse because you have to pay a CP for it. Um, And it's a 5 up where I think the death card, not the, I think the assault intercessor one is, I think that one's just, oops. I think that one is just, I don't think you have to roll for it. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it's a 4 up for Hammer of Wrath. So, yeah, it's just this, but worse. Okay, so that stratagem's kind of doo-doo. But I mean, I guess some mortals are better than no mortals. I Pinky Promise, yes, I'll go over my Templars list after we finish this detachment up. Eye of the Swarm. Shooting phase. Oh, we already did that one. Mephitic Invigoration. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Target one Death Guard infantry unit from your army that's within 6 inches of one or more friendly Mephistic Blight Hauler units, and that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking units. Attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets the unit, strength characteristic of that attack is rated in the toughness characteristic of this unit. Subtract 1 from the wound roll. Okay, so Scarab Terminators have the same ability. Again, though, it's an ability that just happens. Custodians have this ability as well. Um, okay, so these two are just like you can. I There's got to be a Death Guard unit that already does this, like as an ability, as just a passive. And I guess this is cool because it can target any infantry unit, and it's only 1 CP. That's what they do have going for them. Is even though like a couple of these are kind of mid, I would argue Innervating Onslaught is just not great. Um, not It's not really great. It might be good against like stronger units, um, but like mobs maybe like Necron Warriors or something or Immortals. But like honestly, you're gonna do way more damage in melee. Statistically speaking. And I guess, like I said, I guess like like mortals you can't save against most of the time, so like that's some's better than none, but still like it's just it's mid at best. Um, the thing that they have going for them though is that all of these are only 1 CP. They proc off their army rules for contagion range. The enhancements are pretty fucking cheap, and then this just jacks their mobility way up. Because they typically had to rely, and this is the case with most slower armies like Death Guard or like Thousand Sons, you typically have to rely on transports to get where you want to go very quickly. That's not always the case, but if you're running like infantry heavy, that's kind of what you have to do to remain competitive on the board. This this gives them the option to not have to do that. I think it would still be a good idea for a Death Guard player to run like a Rhino or two, but this detachment rule coupled with whereas this enhancement, Droning Chorus, and then coupled with, no, where was it? Yeah, and then coupled with Eye of the not Eye of the Swarm, a Vermin Cloud for fighting, you can close in and surround a target really, really quickly. Um, and for like, I think they're oh man, they're called Plague Terminators. They have Man Reaper scythes, which is just metal as shit. Um, and they hit like trucks in melee. They're not that. I mean, they're not that hard to kill. I guess they're about. I think they're the same toughness as like Space Marine Terminators, maybe a little bit lower, or maybe like one higher. But anyway, they can do a lot of damage in melee, and something like that, you know, that'd be great. That'd be great for them. But anyway, that is the Grotmas detachment for Death Guard Fly Blown Host. I would say this is a pretty solid detachment. Death Guard players already eating good, they're going to be eating even better. Another guy I'm playing against Monday said he's going to run this and try it out, so I will report back in a community post, probably, or on Blue Sky, one of the two, probably both, and give my my short take on that. It's like a 700 point game, and I'm running Custodes because I'm trying to learn them more. And so for me, that's I'm gonna have like I think like 8 models on the board or something like that. Is not great. So those detachments are something temporary, like Christmas time and optional, like some stuff from White Dwarf Extra and Standings, or does it stay up until the next GW update? No, 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 they're official. Um, so these are all going to be official detachments for all the current armies in 40. There's one coming out every day this month. Um, there's a couple of them like Chaos Demons because there's four Chaos Gods. They got four of them, one for each different Chaos God. But yeah, these are good. These are legal. You can play them. I don't know how the tournament scene would really take these. I can't imagine they'd have a problem with them. Excuse me. Um, I don't play competitive, so I don't really know. But yeah, I can't imagine everything I've seen so far. I haven't went through all these yet, but everything I've seen thus far, skimming through them, when I see them on like my feeds or something, none of them in here looks particularly like anti-tournament. So I don't see why anybody would have a problem with it if that's what you're seeing. But I ping you promise to go over my new Templar list, so I'm gonna do that real quick. And no, I don't have it on my PC, so I gotta do it the boomer way here. So this is yeah. So this is a list that I've been running against Necrons and Drukhari. And we play in three-person games. We play about 1650. There's a 10-point differential that we do. And so I've found this list fulfills my needs of AT, anti-personnel, and a very, very healthy mix of ranged and melee. So, like, right now, in terms of characters, I've got a Captain in Gravis armor. Reason for that is we're going to attach him to an Eradicator's unit later in the list, but in the fact that his abilities, let me go to the actual, like, command bunker here. So his abilities, he gets rights per battle, so once per battle round, so once per round, each unit from your army with this ability can use it when it's targeted with a stratagem, reducing the cost of that stratagem by 1 CP. So you can get free rerolls, like basically sometimes a free stratagem once per battle round. He also has refused to yield each time attacks allocated to this model, half the damage characteristics of that attack. Um, Now, the other reason I have him, not just because we're putting him with eradicators, but because he's, tough, 6 toughness, 6 wounds, is pretty solid. His range isn't great, Boltstorm, it's just a Boltstorm gauntlet. Alright. It's a bolter that's a pistol with 1 extra attack. Big whoop. But what I also have are the melee weapons. So he's got a Power Fist, so that's 5 attacks, hits on a 2 up, strength 8, AP 2, damage 2. That's pretty solid. But he also gets an extra melee attack with a Relic Chainsword. And it's just a chainsword, but it's standard chainsword stat block, 3 attacks, 2 up, 4 strength, AP 1. But they do 2 damage a pop. So, like, that's still really solid, especially against infantry. Um, that's why I have him. So whatever detachment will release your Templars cancels and reworks Righteous Crusaders? No. It is in addition to Righteous Crusaders, so you can run either one. Similarly to how you can run any Space Marine detachment um, with an asterisk next to that. Almost every Space Marine detachment has Black Templars. The one you couldn't run for Black Templars, at least from what I remember, is the Librarius Conclave, because Black Templars don't use librarians. So you're not really going to get any use out of that. Um, but no, this is in addition to Righteous Crusaders, so you'll be able to run either one you want. So going down the list, I'm actually going to do this in a different way, I guess. Going down the command bunker list. I'll still do characters. I won't be lazy. Um, Running a Castellan. He's really nothing special outside of like his regular stat block, but the reason that he's in here is while this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the lethal hits ability. And this model's unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. So I don't have to explain how good that is. Like that's fantastic. So you take him and you can put him with either a Crusader squad, a Primaris Crusader squad, or the Primaris Sword Brethren. I personally like to put him more with the Sword Brother, and I think he gets a little more oomph out of it, just because the Sword Brothers hit harder. But he works equally well with Crusader squads, and with the lethal hits ability, you can do something. You can pick a different Templar vow, and get a different buff out of that. Now, what you can also do is where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? It's not Crusader's Wrath. Oh man. There. was, I think it might have been an enhancement. I don't remember exactly, but there was something in here that maybe it's fervent acclamation. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's a stratagem for 1 CP, fervent acclamation, that you can use um, on a character unit. So if you use it on the Castellan too, for example, he already has lethal hits. So you can the effect of this stratagem is select one Templar vow that's not active for your army until the start of your next command phase. While that character is leading a unit, models in that unit gain the benefit of that vow in addition to the vow you already have. So you can basically just stack vows and just wreck shit with your sword bros. Next up on the list, we have the Marshal, Space Marine Captain. Um, a similar deal as the Captain Gravis armor. He's basically the same thing. The difference is that he has rights of battle, right? And then we have Finest Hour. So once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the end of the phase, add 3 to the attack characteristics of melee weapons equipped by this model, and those weapons have the Dev Wound ability. Now, he does have the option for a Mastercraft Power Weapon, which is how I run him. So he gets 6 attacks from that. You can get him up to 9 with that ability if you're really trying to kill something. And I mean, it's a power sword. You know, strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage. That's going to do a lot of damage to something if it hits. Halfway decently, at least. So then going down the list some more, then we have, my favorite, the Emperor's Champion. This guy is your character killer. So the last game I ran this guy in, he bogged down a whole side of the board. Um, they had to surround him with immortals to keep him from just carving through that flank. And he couldn't kill enough immortals to like make up for the reanimation, but he could kill enough to where he could like squeeze through and get closer to a character unit and use his precision and just whack them. Um, so yeah, he's just great all around. If you're not running an Emperor's Champion in your Black Templar's army, you're wrong. He's only like 75 points. He's like one of the cheapest character options you can get. Battle line, regular old infantry units run uh, 2 Primaris Crusader squads. You're not going to get a lot of range capability out of that, but that's not the point. You have 2 mobs of 10 dudes, throw an Emperor's Champion in there, and a Marshal in the other one, and you have a 10-man meat wall that, unless your opponents have precision, are going to have to chew through to get to that character. So it increases their survivability, and they're ultimately the ones you want because they're the ones that are going to be doing the most shit. And then the Primaris Crusader squads reroll charge rolls, which is fantastic, and they get Scout 6. So before the battle even starts, just like the Death Guard, they're getting a free 6-inch movement. They can't advance and charge unless you have a Castellan with them. So the Castellan Marshal, either one works. Like I said, I think the Castellan hits a little harder with the Sword Bros, but it's personal preference really. It's both great. Um, so your Crusader squads are your bulk of the force. They're going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Um, all their chain swords get um, I think 5 attacks apiece. I can look it up. I'm literally looking at it. Yeah. So the Astartes chainswords get 5 attacks each, and there's 10 dudes in that squad. At least the way I run them, I run 5 initiates, 4 neophytes. 2 of the initiates have power fists, and then the sword brother, of course, he has his power weapon. But it's probably optimal to honestly run them all with chainswords, but I like to get the 2 power fists in just so I can get a little extra oomph if I need it. Um, but I mean, you're looking at, that's what did I say, 4 neophytes and 3 initiates with that. So that's 7 times. I mean, that's 35 chainsword attacks. That's just that typically rips through any enemy units you have in front of you. So anyway, moving on down the list into other units, we have assault intercessors with jump packs. Now these guys are just fucking regular dudes with jetpacks and chainswords, but they have deep strike and 12-inch movement. So the reason I run these guys, I didn't really get to use them in my last game. It just didn't work out. But I like to keep them in reserve, and then later in the game, deep strike them in my enemy's deployment zone and bum rush that objective on charge. Because they also have Hammer of Wrath, which we went over earlier. It's basically mortals on the charge when you roll a 4 up for each model in that unit, in the enemy unit that you're charging. On a 4 up, each that enemy unit suffers one mortal wound. So I mean that can be pretty devastating, especially on things like Necron warriors or mortals, or Drukhari in this case, where they only have like one wound apiece. That can just fuck somebody's day. So they're really good for that, and they're just kind of good to get around the board. They have a lot of mobility, which is something Templars and Space Marines in general is like mid. So yeah, if you want something fast that hits pretty hard, they just have regular chain swords and a power fist for melee options. But I mean, hey, it's still pretty solid. I think you can. I think in the kit you can also build them with a power weapon, but I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've built them. And then after that, you have the Ballistus Dreadnought. It's a fucking dreadnought. Um, it only has 3 ranged weapons. It's got a missile launcher with frag or crack round options, a last cannon, and a twin storm bolter. Now, the reason we have this, not just so we have effective and consistent AT, but because Ballistic Strike. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets a unit that is not below half strength, you can re-roll the hit roll. So picture this: you Oath of Moment like a Necron Doomstalker. All right, he's at full health. You're gonna get hit rerolls off of Oath anyway. You're also gonna get hit rerolls off of the Ballistic Strike. So if your first roll is ass, that's okay. You have another shot at it. I cannot stress enough, like especially if you're new to tabletop, is that anything that lets you re-roll is fucking fantastic and is valuable. Do not pass it up if you can help it. Moving on, we got Blade Guard vets, Sword and Shield guys. They got a 4-up invuln save, 3 wounds, so they're kind of tanky for Space Marines. Um, they just have heavy bolt pistols and master catch power weapons. Um, but at the start of the fight phase, they can select one of 2 abilities to apply to that unit until the end of the phase. You have Swords to the Chapter. Each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. Also procs off of Oath of Moment. Um, Shields of the Chapter. Each time an invulnerable saving throw is made for a model in this unit, reroll a saving throw of 1. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to go any more into that. Let me chat. I made a list last night. No weapons included yet. Interested in saying a word or two about it. I've included 2 impulsors, both with Sword Bros, one with Helbrecht and one with the Emperor's Champion. Helbrecht is a fantastic addition to Sword Bros. Um, his melee on the his mortals on the charge ability fucking kicks ass. He just generally kicks ass. Emperor's Champion's okay with Sword Bros. Like I said, I prefer to put him more with Crusader squads, um, just because it's a cheaper meat wall for him, and he's kind of like, at least in my pod, he's like, excuse me, he seems to be the arch enemy of the table sometimes. So his survivability is a little bit more key for me, and quite honestly, his abilities don't really affect Sword Bros that much. Um, it's more about himself. In terms of, being able to negate the damage of a melee attack that gets through to 0. Um, and then every time he targets a character unit, he can add 1 to the wound roll. So like, he's okay with Sword Brothers. I'm not gonna say he's a bad pick, but I think that you'd be much better off running like Grimaldus or Chaplain, because they're gonna give them actual unit buffs, not just individual buffs. Um, I think it's worth the points, or the combo would be better with 10 Sword Bros and just Halbrecht, or is it overkill when it comes to anti-vehicle? That's what I want to use them for anyway. I mean, they'd be okay as anti-vehicle. Power weapons do pretty good job, but I'll explain. Like, I only run in units of 5 Sword Bros. Um, for a couple of reasons. One, vehicles are meta in this edition, have been since it started. Um, you can also fit the balls. You're right. You probably won't. Get a Land Raider. Those are great because you can provided the Land Raider doesn't advance, you can get in there and move the Land Raider up to a point, get you guys out, and they can charge with the assault ramp ability. It's pretty handy. So get a Chaplain then, because they're going to get buffs. They're going to give group wide buffs, not just individual buffs. Do I think it's worth it? I think that 10 sword bows and Hellbreak sounds really fucking scary. That is a terrifying thing to even think about. Um, I'm getting a stream error. Guess everything's fine. Still says I'm live. YouTube is not responding. Don't know what that means. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Oh, well, there's nothing I can really do about that, unfortunately. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Okay, so anyway, um, yeah, going down the Templar list because I need to get back to this. Um, yeah, I think that's a really scary thing. I think you should try it because even I don't think there's any such thing as overkill, personally, just because it sounds really really fun. Um, it's gonna take up a sizable amount of your points budget, so just be prepared for that. I think you should try it just for the hell of it because especially if you could like that's just if you can get them on a point, that's gonna be fucking nuts. Um, like that is a unit you're gonna want to have moving around the map, just wiping the floor with everybody. Um, especially like heavier units like Scorpex or something along those lines. But yeah, I think I think that would be very fun to do. I highly recommend you do that and let me know how that goes, like in a one of my comment sections or something, because that sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah, Sword Bros are on this list as well. They're just fucking awesome. You have a lot of weapon combos to deal with. As for what I recommend for them, don't run all chain swords, even though you'll get more per volume of attack. Um, Run them with all their different like power weapon options because quite honestly, that's just cool. And you're gonna have more, I think, hit consistency in terms of not hit consistency, damage consistency. Um, Across the board. So they do have Battlestorm Blazement. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one of the following effects to apply to melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. You can either add one of their attack characteristics or one to the damage characteristics. They are fantastic. Um, Not a lot to say there. They're great. You included a Ballistus in your list. Yes, that is a fantastic AP and AT option. I think it kind of gets a little slept on. I slept on it for a while. I regret doing that. It's great. Now, is it as good as a Redemptor? No. Is it great for the points cost? Absolutely. You get more than your own bang for your buck with that. So then we have a Furnace Squad. Pack 5 of those guys. Um, or flamethrowers. You can overwatch with them. Not to worry about hitting on sixes. Pretty self-explanatory. Shit them out on a point. Torch whatever comes up to you. And then 10 Hellblasters. Those guys are awesome because if they die, you can roll a d6 for each guy that dies, and on 3 up they get to shoot back. Hellblasters are a very expensive unit for a 10-man squad, 230 points, but plasma hurts. It's gonna melt light vehicles and infantry, so run some Hellblasters. And then we have the Eradicator squad. Those are going to be your dedicated infantry AT guys because they're all packing meltas. You all get the Melta bonus on your damage if you're within half range, which is Melta 2 for these guys. And then the abilities are total obliterations, giving them full rerolls across the board, which do stack with at the moment. And fun fact, the reason you run Eradicators in my pod is because the Necron player likes to run a lot of Catan shards that half damage. They get through to them. They can't have the Melta 2 damage, so they're going to take 2 regardless. And it's just pinging them to death like that. Oh, hey, the stream thing is excellent again. Great, cool. But yeah, that's my Templar list that I've been running in my 3-person games, and it's been kicking ass. But it's been a few weeks because I started Custodes, so I've been trying to learn them. If you're just tuning in, we are getting into the Grotmas detachments. After I went off and explained some Templar stuff. But anyway, Blood Angels are one of the guys that are also eaten very well. I would say one of the best so far. Angelic Inheritors. Detachment rules. Start of the first battle round. Select two of the angelic legacy abilities listed below. Till the end of the battle, those angelic legacy abilities are active and their effects apply to all Adeptus Astartes character units from your army. Sanguinary Grace. This unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. Carmine Wrath. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and a wound roll of 1. And they're appointed honor. You can reroll advance and charge rolls made for that unit. With the restriction that you can only be running Blood Angels units. This is fantastic. This is what we need for Templars. For any melee army, this shit right here, this slaps. This is the shit I want to see. This is the shit that makes me moist, okay? All this shit right here. So, going over enhancements. Be sure to hydrate. Yeah, put the monster down, go drink some water. Where was I doing? Oh, yeah. Prescient Flash. Astartes model only. Models in the Bearer's unit have the Scout 6 ability. That's pretty solid. Troubling Visions. Once per battle in your command phase, the Bearer can use this enhancement. When it does, until the start of your next command phase, all angelic legacy abilities, see left, are active for the Bearer's unit instead of only two of them. So you can have all of these. You can have all of these on one fucking unit. That's insane. Like, I skimmed through this earlier, but oh my god, I didn't read the enhancements that well. That's only 15 points. Oh man, can you imagine if like fucking Grimaldus or Helbert had all of these with a unit of sword bros? Dude, you'd be unstoppable. Okay, Blazing Icon for 20 points. No, okay, okay. Let me back up. Troubling Vision is only once per battle. That said, that is still stupid powerful. Like that's yeah. Wow. I just hope we get something like that in our detachment tomorrow. Good lord. Okay, blazing icon. Starting infantry model only. Enemy units cannot use the fire Overwatch. Oh, you can't be shot at by Overwatch. Very handy. That would straight up destroy my flamer strategy in my Templar list. Because that's the whole reason I have them. Um, that and to get around the Chronomancer making me take a -1 to hit every time I target a Necron unit. And then Ordained Sacrifice for 25 points. Adeptus Astartes model only. The first time the bearer is destroyed, roll a 1d6 at the end of phase. On 2 up, set the bearer back up on the battlefield as close as possible to destroyed, not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, with 3 wounds remaining. Also not bad. Not bad at all. The Custodes Venerable Dreadnought actually has this as just a passive ability, fun fact. But still, 25 points just to put that on a fucking like character model, it's awesome. Not bad at all. All right, going down to stratagems. Okay, all of them are 1 CP too. Honor of Contempt, fantastic. Fantastic stratagem. I love that stratagem. Great. If you're not using it when you're playing Templars, you're wrong. Um, it's just good in general. Pretty sure it's a general Space Marine stratagem. I thought Blood Angels could use that. Right? Right. You can use that. That's just a general Space Marine stratagem. It's gotta be. Let's look at that real quick. Hold on. Whatever. Okay. You've got to be able to run that as just a regular stratagem. I would hope. Here we go. Okay, yeah. Alright, cool. So I don't know why that's in just a... Were they not allowed to use that before or something? That's for Gladius Task Force, but I don't know why you wouldn't be able to... Huh. Let's move it to, like, Anvil Siege Force, see if it's still there. Yeah, okay, yeah, so it's, like, pretty much in every Space Marine stratagem, I would assume, so... Like, that's fine. I don't know why that's special to them. Maybe Blood Angels couldn't use it before, I don't know. I've only played against Blood Angels, like, twice. Okay, Focused Fury. In the fight phase, one Astartes unit from your army that has not been selected to fight yet. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped on models in that unit have the lethal hits ability. If a unit is a character unit until the end of the phase, those weapons have the Lance ability as well. I don't know what Lance does, despite having a unit in my custodies that have lances. I haven't used it enough to actually learn what that means. I think it gives you a buff to wound on your charge, I'm pretty sure. Some shit like that. Virtus Praetors. Each time an attack made, its weapon bearer made a charge move, add 1 to the wound roll. Okay. Blood Angels charge a lot, so I would argue that they are probably better, if not on par with Templars for melee. I'd argue maybe even better from the times that I've faced off against them. Um, Instant of Grace. When your command phase target one Astartes infantry unit from your army. Effect. Select one non-character model in your unit. Till the start of your next command phase, your model has the character keyword. Okay. While this is an effect, your model's unit is therefore a character unit, meaning it can interact with the Legacy of the Angel detachment rule, in addition to other rules that interact with character units. Oh, that's that's pretty solid. You can give a unit one of these. Sorry, two of these. That's fantastic. That's really good. All right, strike now for glory. Shooting phase. One Astartes unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot. Till the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped models in your unit have the sustained one ability. Okay, yeah, we all like that. Extra hits are always great. Probably sometimes means extra damage. So that's pretty good. That's solid. Okay, in the shadow of great wings in your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Target! One character unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more attacking units attacks. Effect. Until the end of the phase, your unit can only be selected as the target of ranged attack if the attacking model is in 18 inches. Okay, so you get a lone operative in 18 inches with this. Also solid. Really solid. I don't know why like Thousand Suns didn't get some shit like this, because that's a very character-intensive army. So something like this would have been fucking fantastic. Instead, we got fucking Canoptech Court reskin, which we'll get to in a little bit. Maybe if we have time. Under the Burning Skies. End of your opponent's fight phase. One Astartes jump pack unit from your army. You cannot target a unit that is within engagement range of one or more enemy units unless it is the Sanguinor. Effect. Remove a unit from battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. Also solid if you can just whoop, pull a fucking dude out instead of getting him whacked. That's fantastic. Okay. Not a lot to say here, honestly. This is pretty cut and dry. I fought Blood Angels twice now, and both times, one with my Templars, one with the Custodies, and both times I got my shit kicked in by these guys. Um, they don't mess around. They, like I said, they are probably better, if not on par with Templars for melee and like World Eaters. Like they are awesome. Um, yeah, this isn't just eating good. This is a fucking feast. That's what this is. And this is the kind of shit we need for our Templar detachment tomorrow. So here's hoping. Um, Moving on to the next one though. The Adeptus Sororitas, Sisters of Battle. Well, there's a lot of words on this one. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have a ton to say about this. I've only fought Sisters one time. They did give me a run for my money, though, as Templars, so we'll see. Righteous Purpose. In your command phase, you can discard up to 3 Miracle Dice. For each discarded, you can select one Sororitas unit from your army until the start of your next command phase. That unit is righteous. I thought they were already supposed to be righteous. It's like the whole thing. Anyway, excuse me. While a unit is righteous, add 1 inch to the move characteristic models on the unit. Improve the leadership characteristic models on the unit by 1. Improve the weapon skill and ballistic skill of weapons equipped by Battle Sister Squad, Celestian Sarcasans, and Paragon Warsuit models in that unit. Sacrosanct, sorry, by 1. Uh-huh. And the Sacrosants get 1 to their OC if they're not battle shocked. Interesting. Okay. So if I remember right, and it's been probably a year since I've went up against Sisters of Battle, they are kind of like better guard, if I remember right. Um, they're squishy. They're regular people. Um, so being able to have them, move quicker and shoot better, I think is probably pretty good for them, even though they already were all right. Um, Triptych of Judgment, going over enhancements. Depth Sword Toss model only. Each time model in the bearer's unit makes an attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to that attacks ballistics or weapon skill and/or any modifiers to the hit roll. Solid. Solid. That's great against Death Guard and fucking Necrons and their dumbass Chronomancers. Good lord. I used to play Necrons up until very recently, so I can say that. It's bullshit. As somebody who did it myself, it's bullshit. Mark of Devotion for 30 points. Add one of the attack characteristics to the bear's melee weapons. Okay, their melee is pretty good, so that can be pretty devastating. While the bear's unit is righteous, add two to the attack characteristics and one to the damage characteristic. Okay. Not dead. Okay. That's solid. That's solid. Okay. Eye of the Oracle, Sororitas model only. The bear's weapons have the precision ability. Each time this bear's unit destroys an enemy character model, you gain a CP. Ooh. For only 10 points. That's not bad. Potentially really good trade there. Sanctified Amulet, 25. A Tetra Sororitas model only. Enemy units that are set up on the battlefield from reserves cannot be set up within 12 inches of the bearer. Also great for screening Deep Strike. Very nice. Alright, going into stratagem. Shield of Denial. When any phase, just after a mortal wound is allocated to a Sororitas unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, models in the unit have a Feel No Pain 6 up ability against mortal wounds. If your unit is righteous until the end of the phase, models have 5 of Feel No Pain instead. Okay, that's solid. Feel No Pains, for those who don't know, because there might be some newer people watching this, or that will watch it. Feel No Pain is when you take damage, right? Say, for example, I take 4 damage, okay, and I have a Feel No Pain 5 up. Well, I roll a d6 for each point of damage. So I roll 4d6, and then on each 5 up, I don't take that point of damage. So, I roll 3 5s. I don't feel the pain for 3 of those. I only take 1 damage instead of 4. Not a lot of units have it, but it's really, really nice when you can get it. The Templars have it, for my Templar player in the chat, as part of the Righteous Crusaders anti-psyker vow. It's like a no, it's an invulnerable. Sorry, it's a 4-up invulnerable against psychic attacks. My bad. Necron Catan shards have that, like all of them by default. 5-up Feel No Pain. But they're very useful for the units that do have them because they can save your ass. Suffer Not the Unfaithful. Your shooting phase or fight phase. One Sororitas unit from your army that is righteous and has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Effect, select either lethal or sustained 1. Till the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models in the unit have that selectability. Key word here, weapons. Weapons, this applies to both, either one. But keep in mind, you can only do this for the shooting or fight phase. I think that's pretty balanced, especially for 1 CP. That's not half bad. To the Heart of Heresy. When fight phase, one Sororitas unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase until the end of the turn. Prove the strength characteristic of models in that unit equipped by models. Oh my god, I'm going too fast. Till the end of the turn. Improve the strength characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in the unit by 1. If the unit is righteous until the end of the phase. Improve the AP characteristic of melee weapons by 1 as well. Also solid for 1 CP. I will try to slow down, I promise. Alright. Gotta breathe. Path of the Righteous. In the 5 phase, one Sororitas unit from army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Effect. Till the end of the turn. Each time a model in this unit makes a pylon or consolidation move, you can move 6 inches instead of 3. When doing so, if your unit is righteous, it does not need to end that move closer to the closest enemy unit model, provided it ends the move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. Nice. Okay. It's like, what was it we looked at earlier? Was it the fucking Death Guard one that had that? I forget already. Yeah, it was Death Guard that had the bonus to pile or consolidation stratagem. So it's like that, but slightly better. That's pretty sweet. Alright, Bastion of Faith. In the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, one Celestian Sacrosanct unit that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Till the end of the phase, each time an attack targets a unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Okay, very good for squishies. In addition, if your unit is righteous, you can select one of the other Celestian Sacrosanct unit from your army that is not battle shocked within 6 inches of your unit. To the end of the phase, each time an attack targets that unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll as well. So you can basically subtract 1 from the hit roll on 2 friendly units that are within close proximity of each other. Also fantastic for squishies and survivability. If playing guard has taught me anything, it's the importance of survivability. It took a few games as guard to learn the harsh lessons that Imperial Guardsmen uh, are not nearly as durable as a Space Marine. A couple of like charging squads up the middle and having them get fucking obliterated by some bullshit like minigun attack taught me that pretty quickly. Um, indefa- Indefatigable dedication. When your movement phase, just after an adeptus sororitas unit from your army falls back, target that unit. To the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back. If a unit is righteous, the unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back instead. Okay, so I mean that's still fine because you can get out of getting shit on in engagement range and and still throw some punishment their way too. So overall, this one is solid from what I know about sisters. Doesn't seem to be too bad. Um, Again, survivability and survivability is key when it comes to squishies. So I think this is fine. I give it an A. Seems all right. Again, this is from my year-old knowledge on fucking sisters. Genestealer Cult's final day. Okay. Now I haven't looked at this one, but I've heard it's really solid. And I've heard Genestealer is a solid army anyway. So let's get into that. Detachment rule, psionic parasitism. At the end of your movement phase, for each Tyrannid Synapse unit from your army, you can select one friendly Genestealer Cult unit, excluding Pure Strain Genestealer and Patriarch units, and one friendly Tyrannid unit, each within 9 inches of invisible to that Synapse unit. If you do, that Genestealer Cult unit from your army suffers D3 plus 1 mortal wounds, and one model in the selected Tyrannid unit regains up to that many lost wounds until the start of your next movement phase. Each time a model in the selected Tyrannid unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Tyrannid units from your army have the following ability. Catalyst, Aura. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this unit, each time a friendly Genestealer Cult makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, add 1 to the hit roll. And they get more. They get cool stuff. Star Children's Blessings. You can include Tyrannid Vanguard Invader units, excluding Aircraft, Broodlord, and Genestealers, in your army. The combined points cost of such units depends on your battle size. Okay, I mean this is fantastic. So you can basically run 2 armies on the board at one time with this detachment. Tyrannid points units, okay, are pretty solid. Like they're pretty balanced. And so for you to be able, I don't know anything about Genestealers. I've been in terms of like tabletop, I have not fought Genestealers. Never seen anybody actually play Genestealers. But I do hear they're pretty good. Now, from one of like my chronically online endeavors. Now, being able to run 2 fucking armies on the table, in addition to, like, if you're running a strike force, okay, 2,000 points, you're running 2,000 points of Genestealers and 1,000 points of Tyrannids. That is fucking awesome. And you can heal them with this ability right here. You can heal them and give them a buff to hit. That's fucking incredible. And they give their Genestealer buddies a +1 to hit. That's pretty great. Let's see what the enhancements do. Synaptic Augur for 15. Tyrannid's model only. Each time the bearer would regain 1 or more lost wounds in the psionic parasitism detachment rule, it regains up to twice for 15 points. Aw, dude. What the hell? That is nuts. that's potentially that's potentially like 8 wounds. Oh, that is insane. Okay, Enraptured Damnation for 10 points. Genes to their cult model only. Enemy units cannot use Fire Overwatch. Okay, we've seen that one before. It's solid. Vanguard Tyrant. Wing and Hive Tyrant model only. Improve the strength and armor characteristics of melee weapons equipped by the bearer by 1. Okay. Hive Tyrants, specifically the Winged Hive Tyrant, in ninth edition was fucking scary. It's not as terrifying on the tabletop in 10th edition, but it is still a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, let me pull that up real quick so you guys can get an idea for what I'm saying. Check this shit out. Okay, so your melee weapons right here. Bone swords and whip are twin linked. All right, let's just say we go with the twin linked bone swords. You get 6 attacks, hit on 2 up, strength 9, AP 2, damage 3. All right. Let's go with Vanguard Tyrant. We give an extra strength in AP. So now we're looking at strength 10, AP 3, 3 damage. Plus twin linked, so you can reroll the fucking wound rolls. And you get an extra attack with monstrous scything talents. I don't know if you can equip those at the same time, but like, oh no, can you? Yeah, so you can't do it at the same time. Okay. Still though, that's fucking nuts. That is more than enough to kill vehicles, even heavy vehicles. Inhuman integration for 20. Genes of the cult model only. Weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit have the sustained 1 ability, while targeting an enemy unit within 6 inches of one or more friendly units. Also solid. Okay. I guess everyone has only 1 CP. I guess that's the Christmas present, part of the Christmas present. All these are dirt cheap fucking stratagems. Hyperferocity. Fight phase. Once Gene Stealer cult unit from your army that has not been selected to fight. Effect. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, re-roll a wound roll of 1. Okay. If one or more friendly Tyranids units are within 6 inches of that enemy unit, you can re-roll the wound roll instead. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's solid. I don't know if Gene Stealer cults are really particularly great at melee. I know Gene Stealers, Tyranid units, are melee units. Um, but still, I mean, rerolls are rerolls. Doesn't really matter if they're ass melee attacks or not. That's still potentially damage you can do. Psi Surge, start of any phase. 1 Tyranid unit from your army. Until the start of your next command phase, increase the range of your unit's catalyst ability by 3 inches. Restrictions. Each time you use this stratagem until the end of your next command phase, you cannot use this stratagem again. So you can only use it once per phase. So that's, once per turn, per round. That's pretty balanced, considering if we go back up here, increasing this shit right here, while an enemy unit is within 9 inches of this model with that stratagem, each time a friendly Gene Stealer cult unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. That is solid. 9 inches doesn't sound like a lot, like in your head, but like when you extend that shit out, do I have a fucking tape measure over here? No, I don't. When you extend that shit out though, that's solid. Like, you're gonna be getting a lot of units with that. Avenge the Star Children. When your opponent's shooting phase or the start of the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has shot or fought, 1 Tyranid unit character unit from your army that was destroyed by enemy units this phase. You can use the stratagem on them even though they were just destroyed. Effect. Until the end of the battle, each time a Gene Stealer cult model from your army makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, add 1 to the hit roll and 1 to the wound roll. So for 1 CP, Uno CP, you can give your entire fucking Gene Stealer army, with the exception of Tyranny units, a 1 to hit and 1 to wound roll for that enemy unit that fucked your character up. Fantastic. Starting to see why they're saying this is the best one so far. Resistance tunnels when end of your opponent's fight phase. Target 1 Gene Stealer cult or Tyranny unit from your army not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. You put them in strategic reserves. Okay. Seen this one already, still solid, being able to just pluck them off the battlefield. Darting attacks. When your shooting phase or your charge phase, target one Tyranid unit from your army. Effect. Till the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. So it's a Black Templar Castellan ability for 1 CP on a Tyranid unit. That could be really, really good for like Carnifexes or something along those lines that are more melee heavy. Be really good on the Flyrant because the Flyrant has guns and melee weapons. Divine Imperative. When your charge phase, target one Gene Stealer cult unit from your army that's not declared a charge this phase. Effect. Select one enemy unit within engagement range of one or more Tyranid units from your army. Till the end of the phase, each time a Gene Stealer cult unit declares a charge, if that enemy unit is one of the targets of that charge, add one of the charge rolls made for your unit and you can reroll the charge roll. Fantastic. So this is just all around for both shooting and melee a really, really good detachment. Yeah, final day, because it's the final day anybody's going to play with you because you're going to kick their ass so hard. This is fantastic. Gene Stealer guys, Michelin star restaurant right here. That's what this is. You guys are, that's the best one thus far. S tier. S tier. All right, Leagues of Votann. The guys that I'm fighting on fucking Monday that I don't know anything about. Let's see how much I can learn. Alright, Methodical Annihilation. Each time a League of Votann model from your army makes an attack with a weapon, excluding blast weapons, that targets the closest eligible target or target that's within engagement range of the model's unit. Can we roll a hit roll of 1? We love our hit rolls. If a unit is Kal Einhar Hearthguard or Uthar the Destined, improve the AP. Who are those guys? Improve the AP characters to that type by 1. I'm going to assume they're like chosen ones. So, I guess that's good. I don't know how important they are. I guess pretty important if they're getting listed in the detachment. But we love our hit rolls, love our rerolls. So each time a model makes an attack with a weapon that targets the closest eligible target or target within engagement range of that model's unit. Not bad. Not bad. Especially if you're targeting a vehicle model, because if you're targeting a vehicle model that's engaged, you take a -1 to hit, so you can offset that a little bit with that hit reroll. So that's pretty solid. All right, enhancements. Bastion Shield for 25 points. Leagues of Votann model only. Each time a ranged attack targets the bearer's unit, if the attacking model is within 12 inches of the bearer's unit, worsen the AP by 1. Okay, so it's basically, I don't want to say it's basically cover, I guess technically not, but it does the same thing. It reduces incoming AP by 1. Easy peasy. Quake Multi-Generator for 15. Call model only in your shooting phase. After the bearer has shot, select one enemy unit, excluding Titanic ones, hit by one or more of those attacks. So start of your next turn, that enemy unit is suppressed. While a unit is suppressed, each time model unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. And that's until the start of your next turn, so you're fucking them for one whole turn. That's solid. Okay. Iron Skine. Leagues Baton model only. Add 2 the bear's wound characteristics. For 10 points, that's solid. That's balanced. High Call for 30 points. Call model only. Martial leader and their kindred this warrior. Okay, so they're like melee leaders, I guess it sounds like. So call model only. Each time model in the bearer's unit is destroyed by a melee attack. If it is not fought this phase, roll a d6. 4 up. Do not remove it from play. The destroyed model can fight after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks and is then removed from play. Okay, so it's fight on death. It's the Hellblaster ability, but for melee. That's solid. For 30 points. It's a steep enhancement, but I think given what it can do, I think that's fine. Brickignauts. Alright. Micro shield generators worked into the warrior's jewelry or armor crest. Trigger on command to provide short-lived bitch protection. Your opponent's shooting phase, or the fight phase, just after an enemy unit is selected as targets. One call Uthar the Destined or Einhar Hearthguard unit from your army that has been selected as the target of one of those attacks. Oh, it gives them a 4 pinball. Okay, cool. Easy peasy. Only applies to whatever these are. Sure of purpose. In the fight phase, one leaves a baton unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time model unit makes a pylon or consolidation move, it can move up 6 inches instead of 3. Okay, this is the third time we've seen this, so they're really, really pushing the whole consolidation movement stuff. Good lord. Again, hope Templars get something like this tomorrow. That'd be cool. Superior craftsmanship. When in the fight phase, one leaves a baton unit from your army that has not been selected to fight yet. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets a monster or a vehicle, add 1 to the damage. For 2 CP. Okay, okay. So I guess this would be really good. That's really good for like your vehicle models, right? Your tanks and shit. Okay. I guess that's probably an okay stratagem cost because like I don't have any frame of reference for this in terms of like what a Votan vehicle can do. So going off of like the repulsor executioner tank, okay, for the Space Marines, the heavy laser destroyer is I believe D6 plus 4 damage, and you get 2 shots. So if both of those land, so we'll just say their tank has the same thing. So that's D6 plus 5 damage for 2 CP. Even just if one of those shots lands, that's gonna fuck somebody up. Like at a minimum, you're taking 6 wounds off something. That's enough to kill a lot of light vehicles. I'm sorry, not a lot of light vehicles. That's enough to like bracket a lot of light vehicles and seriously fuck up the heavier ones. So I'd say yeah, for 2 CP, if they're anything like that, solid. All right, Fury of the Hearth. Your shooting phase. One Einhard Hearthguard unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. To the end of the phase, ranged weapons, excluding blast weapons, equipment models in the unit have the Rapid Fire 1 ability. Okay. Solid. I don't know how common Rapid Fire is to them, but I'm assuming not very if they have a stratagem for it. Any Votan players in the chat? Or you guys like Mechanicum where like you don't actually exist? Um, yeah, rise up Votan players. Materialization matrices. All right. In the reinforcement step of your movement phase, one Votan unit from your army that is in reserves has Deep Strike. Until the end of the phase, when your unit is set up on the battlefield using the Deep Strike ability, it can be set up anywhere in the battlefield that is more than 6 inches horizontally away from all enemy units. Restrictions: they can't declare a charge if you do that. Also for 1 CP. That's solid. Can you imagine if fucking Scarab Terminators had that? Good lord. 1,000 Suns would be kicking ass. Alright. Last one, Unyielding Aggression. Your movement phase just after a infantry unit from your army falls back. Until the end of the turn, the unit is able to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. So everybody's getting this fucking shoot and declare a charge after falling back thing. Provided you're not battle shocked, obviously. Everybody's getting this. I will bet a testicle that this is gonna be in the Templars fucking detachment tomorrow for 1 CP. Despite the Castellan being able to do it as an ability, I guarantee I will put my left nut on it that this is gonna be in the fucking Templar detachment tomorrow. If I'm wrong, well, it'll be a really interesting next live stream. We'll say that. Okay. Anyway, this one I guess is okay. There's a couple things in here I really like this high call one enhancement would be great for my army. Fantastic. Would be great for Custodes or Templars. I hope I get something like this. Yeah, this whole thing is just me coping and hoping over my main army's detachment I'm gonna get tomorrow. Okay, so Chaos Demons we have 4. We have Plague Legion for Nurgle, Blood Legion for Khorne, Scintillating Legion for fucking Tzeentch, and Legions of Excess for Slaanesh. Oops. There we go. You gonna do Templar Detachment tomorrow or live stream? I might. I don't know. I'm gonna be out and about most of the day tomorrow. I probably won't do a live stream for just that because I'm gonna be editing the Green Knights video probably most of the day tomorrow. Um, but I do plan on doing another live stream because I don't think we're gonna get to it tonight. I wanted to rank all the I want to do some gooning and rank all the Primarch GFs in a tier list, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that tonight. Um, so that I might save that for either tomorrow night or sometime next week. I might do the like a Christmas Eve thing for that. That sounds like a good Christmas Eve stream. Have the fireplace on in the background, light some candles, really set the mood. But all right, Nurgle Plague Legion for Chaos Demons. I don't know anybody that plays Chaos Demons either. Everybody plays fucking Space Marines. All right, while an enemy unit, Melancholic Miasma. Get ahead of myself. Is their attachment rule? While an enemy unit is within 9 inches of one or more Legiones Daemonica Nurgle units from your army, or Nurgle demons, that enemy unit is within your army's Shadow of Chaos. In each player's command phase, select one enemy unit within your army's Shadow of Chaos. That unit must take a Battle Shock test. That sounds kind of poo-poo, honestly. So for context, I do know a little bit about Chaos Demons. Shadow of Chaos is what Canoptech Court for Necrons is based on, which is what the new Thousand Suns detachment that I don't like so much that I can't remember it is also based on. So basically, what this is you have certain zones, in this case, Shadows of Chaos. Okay, so your deployment zone's always in your Shadow of Chaos. When you move up and take midfield point, that counts as Shadow of Chaos, so on and so forth. Basically, it advances the more you advance, right? Um, that said, that's very situational. If you're getting your shit rocked, then Melancholic Miasma is probably not going to help you out very much. But forcing somebody to take a Battle Shock test can also totally wreck somebody's plans. So if you do manage to do that, if you do manage to benefit off of that, that's not bad. But yeah, I don't. It's very well. I mean, it is within 9 inches, so I guess you don't. Yeah. So okay. Hold on. So it marks them, I guess, as being considered within your Shadow of Chaos if they're within 9 inches of one of your units. Okay. And you get to select one enemy unit within that radius to make a battle shock test. Okay. Okay. That's not as bad. Okay. So now that my reading comprehension has gone up beyond a fifth grade level for a moment, that's not too bad, if I'm understanding that correctly. So Canker, Blight, Aura. Moving on to enhancements. It's 15 points. Obviously, demon model only. Each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles, that is within 6 inches of the bearer fails a battle shock test, the bearer can use this enhancement. Each time, keep that in mind, if it does, one model in that unit is destroyed, chosen by its controlling player. Each time the bearer uses this enhancement, no mortal wounds are inflicted by your army's demonic terror rule. I don't know what that is, but you don't get mortal wounds. Tough shit. Tough cookies. Um, that's still crazy though that you can just like immediately kill a model in that unit for 15 points each time they do it. So if you can just like lock somebody into melee combat and just keep charging them, I don't think you'd kill a unit that way. But for unit, think though. For units like bigger ones, like Talos Pain Engines for Drukhari, okay? Oh no, those aren't. I don't think those are in groups. What's another heavy hitting unit? Okay, let's just use Space Marine Terminators for example. All right. Say these guys lock down my Terminators with this enhancement that they have. Okay. I fall back, or I get battle shocked, and I don't have to fall back. Sorry, I get battle shocked, and I lose a fucking model. I mean, you could still just, even if I do fall back, keep dinging me, but because I can still make a desperate escape test, right? Potentially lose more models. So that's okay. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Maggot Maws for 15 points. In your shooting phase, select one enemy unit within 6 inches of the bear. That enemy unit must take a battle shock test. Then roll 1d6. On a 3 up, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. Each time the bear uses this enhancement, no mortal wounds are inflicted by your enemy's demonic terror rules. So demonic terror just gives free mortal wounds, I guess? Okay, cool. Good for them. Sounds awful to deal with. Um, but still, I mean that's it's free mortals and a battle shock test. Like, okay, living up to the whole mantra I said earlier, the Death Guard, or and by extension anything Nurgle related, is just going to win on being annoying more than they are anything else. Um, Droning Shroud Aura for 35. It's kind of expensive. While a friendly Nurgle Demon unit is within 6 inches of the bear, that unit can only be targeted by ranged attack if that unit is within 18 inches. 35 points for a stealth? I'm sorry, for lone operative? Like, I don't know about that. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we saw this earlier. When we saw this earlier with somebody else, it wasn't this many points. Like, I don't know anything about demon, like, I guess, like, unit points in general, but, like, except for the ones I use for Thousand Suns, but, like, I don't like that. That doesn't seem very good. Okay, but Font of Spores Aura. A lot of Aura stuff, which is cool. Don't see a lot of that in 10th edition. 20 points. While a friendly Nurgle Demon unit is within 6 inches of the bear, improve the AP characteristic ones equipped by models unit by 1. Okay. 20 points? I mean, yeah, okay. AP can, like, make or break a lot of stuff, especially survivability, because that's kind of the whole point. So, yeah, that'll be a little rough to deal with, I think. So let's look at the stratagems now. Seeping Virulence. In the fight phase, one unit that is not selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time on the unit makes an attack, hit roll of 5 up, scores a crit. Okay, cool. Cool. That's pretty useful. Um, you you might not think that 5 up crits would make that much of a difference. I promise you it does, okay? Custodians have a thing, I think it's in their martial katas that they get to choose from in each of their turns, that they can give their melee weapons 5 up crits, okay? That stacks with the shield host detachment ability, okay? So, if I remember right, again, I'm new to Custodes, so let me make sure I'm telling you right here. So, what happens here, okay, is, yeah, Martial Mastery. Okay, so this is the Shield Host one. Martial Mastery, at the start of the battle round, you select one thing to happen from the bullet points below. If you do, till the start of the next battle round, the bullet points effects apply. Each time I dips a Custodes model from my army with a Martial Kata ability, which they all have, makes a melee attack, a successful unmodified hit roll of 5 up scores a crit, okay, just like we see here. Or I can improve the AP characteristic of melee weapons by 1. Also pretty good. Now, that does stack with the Martial Kata. In the Martial Kata, you can choose one of these, okay, each time a Custodes model is selected to fight. You can either choose the Dakateri stance, which gives you sustained 1 on melee, or Rendax, which gives you lethal. So you can get lethal or sustained on 5 ups, okay, and that can make a fucking difference. Let me tell you. That's why I've been painting all my Custodes models lately, as you've seen, because they've been performing so well. That 5 up, chef's kiss. Moving on to Fever Visions. In your shooting phase or the fight phase, one unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Till the end of the phase, each time model unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. After a unit has finished making its attacks, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks, and they take a battle shock test. Okay, for 1 CP, you get a lot there. Alright? You add 1 to your hit roll, and you get to force battle shock. Very good utility right here. That does nothing but benefit you. That is fantastic. Voted Resurgence for 2 CP in your command phase. One demon unit from your army that's on the battlefield. Return up to 1 destroyed model to your unit, or up to D3 destroyed models instead if your unit is a battle line unit. with their full wounds remaining. If it's a monster unit, one model in your unit regains up to D3 plus 1 unit lost wounds instead. Okay, yeah. So for 2 CP, that's solid cost for that detachment. Again, major utility right here. And for 2 CP, I think that's very, very balanced. Plague of Woes. Your opponent's command phase. Before selecting any targets for the Melancholic Miasma detachment rule. Is this okay? Okay, that's got it. Okay, that's like brushing the back of my neck and it's tripping me out. Okay, your opponent's command phase before selecting any targets for the Melancholic Miasma detachment rule, which we saw above. One fucking Nurgle demon unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, after an enemy unit makes a battle shock test as a result of the Melancholic Miasma attachment rule, select one other enemy unit within 9 inches, and they must make a battle shock test. So for 1 CP, you can force somebody else to take a battle shock test. Okay, that's fine. Merc Shadows in your movement phase. One of your infantry units. Until the end of the phase, each time a unit makes a normal move, add 5 inches? Oh, now that's pretty good. Because you can normally, because like then you can still charge after that. So you're basically getting a free 5-inch advance move. I shouldn't say free. You got to spend a CP on it, but you're getting a 1 CP 5-inch advance that you can still charge off of. Fantastic. Wonderful. I know a lot of demons sometimes like to use a lot of melee stuff. I know most of mine that I use for Thousand Suns are pretty good at melee, so having something like that, that's pretty good. Get in close really, really quick with that. And last but not least, we have Rot and Renewal for 1 CP. In your movement phase or your charge phase, one of your units, until the end of the phase, each time a model unit makes a move, it can move through terrain feature. Ooh. Okay, that seems pretty gross for 1 CP. Oh, you got a fucking building right here that blocks line of sight? Pfft, fucking, it's not even there. Fuck it, take it off the board. That's really good. Okay. All in all, this one's not terrible, but I do think that it's very situational. I don't think this is a detachment that would really generally help you. I mean, it'll generally help you, of course, but I mean, like, it's not as. You got to be a little bit more careful about how you play. And, you know, my experience with Nurgle stuff is that they really want to get in there and basically, do what they did to Horus, stab you with a poop knife, all right? They really want to stab you with a poop knife. Um, and that's kind of what this encourages, by the look of it. But I still think it's kind of eh. Some of these like 35 points for fucking lone operative, dude. That's just a bit much. I will give this one a B. It's not bad. It's not great. Um, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Man, I don't know where we will get through all this. Because once my wife gets home and she starts cooking, I'm not going to be able to do this. It's going to be too much noise. But that's okay. We can always pick it up later. We'll do a couple more, though. Blood Legion for Corn. Alright. Let's see. Murder Call. Oh, hell yeah. Alright. Each time an enemy unit, excluding aircraft, ends a no... You ever seen... You ever seen a fucking World Eaters player use aircraft? I don't even think they can use aircraft, can they? I've faced off against World Eaters several times, and never seen anyone have an aircraft of any kind. Like, it just doesn't happen, alright? It just doesn't happen. I don't even know if they can. Maybe that's just redundant. I'm not sure. Alright. Okay. Each time an enemy unit ends a normal or advanced move within 6 inches of one of your corn demons, one of those demon units can make a surge move towards the enemy unit. Okay, so it's like the Tyranid surge thing for Oh, Endless Swarm, I think is the detachment name. To do so, roll 1d6. Models of your unit move a number of inches up to this result, but your unit must end that move as close as possible to that enemy unit. When doing so, those models can be moved within engagement range of that enemy unit. A unit cannot make a surge move while it is within engagement range of one or more enemy units. Blood Tainted. At the end of the phase, in which a Corn Demon unit from your army destroyed an enemy unit that was within range of an objective marker at the start of the phase, if your unit has a higher level of control over that objective marker remains under your control. Okay, so if you kick somebody off an objective marker and you had higher OC than them, you get sticky objectives. Yeah, that that's solid. But yeah, the Tyranids have this exact thing basically um, in their in the Storm detachment, if I remember right. I think that's the right one. One of their detachments has this exact thing, and let me tell you, dude, it is a pain in the ass to go to go up against. Um, Even against Templars and a melee heavy army, having like fucking a bajillion Termagants just pile onto you whenever you shoot a bolt pistol at them, it can get really overwhelming really fast. But let's go into enhancements real quick. Slaughter Thirst Aura for 35. Ooh. While a friend, that sounds cool as shit, dude. While a friendly Corn Demon unit, excluding monsters, is within 6 inches of the bearer, weapons equipped by the models in the unit have lance. So remember from earlier, if you make a charge move with a lance weapon, you get to add 1 to your wound roll. Let me respond to a text real quick. Hang on. All right. Fury's Cage for 20 points. Each turn bearer selected to fight, it can use this enhancement. If it does, the bearer suffers D3 plus 1 mortal wounds. Until the end of the phase, each time it makes an attack, you can reroll the hit and wound rolls. That's kick ass, dude. Um, 1 second. Okay. Um, I'm trying to be like, no, don't come up yet. I'm still doing a stream. uh, all right, let's see here. Fury's Cage. Each time the bear is selected to fight, it can use this enhancement. Oh, we already did that one, so we love our rerolls. And the fact that you can take like D3 plus 1 mortal wounds just to get that's fine, dude. Each time you fight, provided you don't roll like ass on this part, okay, that's worth 20 points. I'd say that's probably deserves to be a little more expensive, but maybe it's not because the potential for 4 fucking mortal wounds um, kind of you know necessitates a lower point cost. Yeah, that's probably pretty valid. So Brazen Maw, add 2 to the charge rolls. Very good, easy peasy. Gateway unto Damnation for 10 points. The Bearer's Deadly Demise ability inflicts mortal wounds on a d6 roll of 2 up instead of a 6. In addition, if the bear has destroyed one more enemy unit this battle, the bear has the Deadly Demise d3 plus 3 instead of any other. Very good. So, I know in my pod, usually it doesn't, if something has Deadly Demise, like a vehicle or a monster, it doesn't matter whose it is or what's around it. It happens so infrequently that whenever something does blow up with Deadly Demise, we cheer for it. Like, there could be a Catan shard in the middle of, like, a whole Crusader squad of mine, and if it blows up and takes out fucking D3 whatever, however many mortal wounds it does when it blows up, we cheer. I cheer. Because it's just fun. Alright, going into the stratagems. That one sounds cool as hell. Blood begets skulls. We're gonna start with that. 1 CP in your charge phase. One of your units has not been selected to charge yet. Till the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to clear a charge in a turn in which it advanced. For 1 CP, I'll take it. That's pretty good. Wrath Undeniable. Fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its target. So one of your units that was selected as the target of one or more of those of that attacking unit's attacks. Till the end of the phase. Each time a model unit is destroyed by a melee attack. If that model is not fought, oh, I guess fight on death. Cool. All right. For 1 CP, solid. Okay. Gore Hungry Onslaught. That's cool. Very cool. Like that a lot. Gore Hungry Onslaught. Your movement phase or your charge phase. One of your units in your army. Till the end of the phase, each time a model unit makes a move, it can move through terrain features. Doing this shit again. That's scary, dude. Like imagine like procking that to that. Uh, that's freaky. You can kill a lot of shit that way, dude. Skulls beget blood. Okay, let's see how scary this one is. In your shooting phase, one Khorne infantry or Khorne demon, both demon infantry, demon infantry or demon mounted unit from your army, excluding units that fell back that turn, that is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units. Effect: select one enemy unit not within engagement range of one or more units from your army and is within 8 inches of invisible to your unit. Roll d6. Roll 66. For each 4 up, the enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay, so it's the grenade stratagem. I'm assuming they didn't have that before. I guess that makes sense because demons probably don't need grenades or use them. So this is basically the grenade stratagem that Space Marines and everyone else uses. Interesting. Cool, cool. Sheathed in brass. In your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. One demonic Khorne unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Till the end of the phase, models in unit have a save characteristic of 3 up. I don't know what Khorne save characteristics are, so I'm going to assume that's pretty good. We like anything that makes us save higher. Survivability is key. Lastly, we got Fool's Flight. In your opponent's movement phase, just after an enemy unit falls back. What is that? What? Did you see that? The text was all like, yeah, look at that. It's all compressed. Okay. Anyway, one of your units that's within 6 inches of an enemy and would be eligible to declare a charge against that unit. Is the enemy unit. Unit now declares a charge that targets only that enemy unit and resolve that charge. Even if the charge is successful, your unit does not receive any charge bonus. So it's heroic intervention, but for units that fall back. So it allows you to like stay in engagement range even if they fall back from you. Okay, yeah, for 2 CP that's pretty fucking good. Dig it. Okay. So, the verdict on this one, S tier. Absolutely S tier. I think everything here in terms of points and CP cost plus like just everything here synergizes so well together. You have your surge moves up here, okay, which I mean you can move into engagement range anyway. So imagine that plus your fight on death, okay, and you can use that also to move through buildings and shit too. I mean, just the mobility and the lethality that Khorne stuff already has is the lethality part they've got covered, but the mobility side of things too, which at least for world leaders isn't half bad. But this, oh my god, excuse me. But this, dude, dudes, my guys, this is freaky. That's what this is. But yeah, that's some freaky shit right there. But I might have to call it there because my wife is really wanted to come up and eat dinner. So I might either get back on here later tonight or definitely doing a Christmas Christmas Eve stream. Definitely gonna do the Primarch GF thing then, and then we'll pick up. But before we do that, we'll pick up and we'll go through all of these. I'll be sure to start earlier um, so that we can have more time. This is only my second stream, so I thought I would kind of blow through this, but apparently not. That's okay though. That's all right. But we'll get through it. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I will be back some point in the next couple of days for a stream. We'll pick up where we left off and we'll do the Primarch GF thing, which I was going to make into a video, but I think it would be way more fun to do it live with all of you guys. Um, maybe I'll drink some eggnog or something too. Um, bon appetit, brother. Have a good one. Have a good one, guys. Grey Knight's lore video should be dropping tomorrow at some point, probably a late afternoon, early evening. Like I said, it'll be out most of the day tomorrow. So, but I will be editing it, and it will be up by tomorrow. So again, thanks. Have a good night, and toodles.